Hi everyone and welcome to 1/6 Figure Focus, and you're very welcome to episode number 50 of The Focus, a live stream dedicated to all things 1/6 scale related. Massive apologies for being late. Basically everything that could go wrong went wrong 2 minutes before I was supposed to go live, but that's not an excuse. I do apologize. Shout out to the 17 people who are here. This is going to be a very, very one-dimensional stream. I'm giving my thoughts. I finally, after a year of waiting and anticipating, and will it be good? Will it won't be good? Will it be worth $1,000? Will it be not worth $1,000? Will it, or will our pets' heads be falling off? Anyone gets the reference? Please put that in the chat down below. Basically, is it going to be good? Is it going to be worth the money? Is it going to be disappointment? Is it going to be quality control issues? Yada yada yada, and will the good outweigh the bad and all that? So this is not my official review, because I think this is the figure that you need to spend a lot of time with, so you can kind of figure out the ins and outs of it and the things that are good and bad. And yeah, overall I'm very happy with it, and we're going to get into that. And I'm going to give you pros and cons and stuff like that. My full unboxing and review video will be done over the next week. I want to take my time with that. I want to be thorough, and I want to. I just can't take my eyes off it. Sorry, it's just right here, the jail cell here, and obviously the this one here. So yeah, this stream is all about the INART rooted 2-pack Joker. So the INART Joker rooted 2-pack, or otherwise known as, I believe, is it the deluxe version? It's a bit funny. They had the single sculpted, and then I believe you had the double sculpted, which was, I think they called the premium version, and then they called the rooted 2-pack the deluxe, which didn't make sense. But anyway, it's here, I have it, and that's what we're going to be discussing today. So very quickly, I want to touch base with the chat. I do apologize again for being late. Yeah, just wrong. So Boba Fettuccini in there with the first and sharing my enthusiasm. That INART Joker ain't no joke. Congrats on it, Shane. If you actually have if you're watching this on like a TV, a smart screen, or a tablet, and you have your phone handy, go onto Instagram and just go onto my story and look at the photo I just took. Like, that was no Photoshop or post-production. It was just with a camera and click on portrait mode, and this thing just looks beautiful. Brandon Salad was the first ever person to ever drop a super chat. Massively appreciated, and it was August 1st of 2022. Massively appreciated, and thank you very much. We'll always have the first one. We have Alan, the 6 scale gallery, fantastic photographer, particularly good at portrait photography. If you haven't followed the 6 scale gallery or Alan on Instagram, you're doing it wrong. Payton 2023 is here. What's up, everyone? Good to see you. Empire Strikes Again. What's up, Phil? Not too long now till we go to Star Wars Celebration. We have a pint. Speaking of which, I'm not going to lie. What happened was, everything was good to go. And I went downstairs to get myself a beer. And I went to pour the beer. And as I opened the beer went everywhere. So I had an option. Do I just go up to the stream and be on time? Or do I clean it up before my missus gets home and kicks my ass? We all know it's option B. Right, so I'm trying to click on something. There's something else that reminds. Oh yeah, I'm going to get a bit of background music going here while I address some of these chats. Hopefully that'll be alright. Level 12 usually works. William Owens, absolute legend in the 1/6 scale world. I'd say he's a legend in real life too. In hand, you say? Yeah, that's I'm currently working on episode 4 of Shit Collectors Say, and yeah, that one is definitely going to feature. It looks so much better in hand. Yeah, 100%. That's going to be there. Trevor says, "This is such a good figure. I'm considering selling my custom." They are. That kind of sums it up, because Trevor, the 1/6 shooter, if obviously he has a Instagram and a fantastic YouTube channel as well, and I really had a great time chilling out with the 1/6 pack there a few weeks back. So yeah, like, Trevor's big into customs, and if he's saying he's considering selling his custom to get this, and this man will tell you that some custom head sculpts, with routing and the sculpt and the cost of painting it, like, they can go for 500 plus. Correct me if I'm wrong, Trevor, but I believe that's correct. So this thing for 1,000, maybe not looking so bad. It's all relative, I suppose. Shiny, shiny. He didn't add the glowing eyes to the thumbnail. That means he doesn't like it. Damn, I've been found out. Some guy is here. What's up, my favorite peoples? How are you? We have Martin G. Hi, everyone. Oh my God, that was a fast delivery. Still waiting on Toys Wonderland. I will pray for you, my friend. We might touch on that at some point in this stream. We have Empire Strikes Again. Phil saying hello to Al. Thanks very much for the engagement, folk. Really do appreciate it. T-Ria, excited here to see your thoughts on this. It's not all good. It's not all good. It's I'm not going to nitpick for the sake of nitpicking. I think my concerns are all legitimate, but it's overwhelmingly good. I think maybe aesthetic, I find it really hard to fault. But practicalities, and we'll get into that, what I mean, and transportation possibly could be something they could improve on. But I have for a figure, the company's first release, it's pretty damn good. We have Keith, the 6-skill Padawan, my Irish friend, who's trying to scalp me on a heavy Mandalorian at this point in time. He also is letting me take the hit on the Art Customs Luke Skywalker lightsaber that I have incoming, because I want to get that Mando Luke and I want to get the CCFL sabers. And he said that they get very hot, so if your house burns down, I probably won't get one. Thanks, Keith. What a guy. What a guy. We have some guy, 1 6-figure focus, Shane, our favorite Irish man. No, I don't know about that. And if I'm your favorite Irishman, you haven't met too many Irish people, but I thank you. I will take the compliment. It feels like last week we were watching streams of people talking about the announcement picture. It does, yeah. Haven't heard a peep from Spec Fiction about my INART Joker. I think they're going to start rolling out now over the next few months. I'd imagine next few weeks even. We have Shiny Shiny. Aren't Spec Fiction reputable, folks? I've heard good things about Spec Fiction. I've never used them, so I don't know. Dope intro beat. I would love to say that I actually made it. I found it on YouTube and copyright free apparently, but yeah, whoever made it was bloody awesome. What's going on, Ryan? Mr. Mom's Collectibles. You haven't checked out Mr. Mom's Collectibles on YouTube? Please consider doing so. Great content over there. He's a DeLorean expert. Okay, Ash Chase is here. Ash Chase, what's up, everyone? Thanks for being here. We got KS in the building. Let's go. We got Dopo. We got Ryan Smith, a big Batman fan from the UK. Congrats, Shane. Looks awesome. Hope your mine gets and hope yours gets shipped soon too. HMB is in the building. Still waiting on mine from Spec. It's only a matter of time before they get them. Dumb and Dumber. Yes, Summers fam, you are an absolute legend. Followed by Shiny Shiny as well. And right, Malika McBain is here. What's that? Petty. Yeah, that's very funny. Yeah, absolutely. Let your love flow, Shane. That's funny. Tragedy's Tales here, saying hello, bro. How are you doing? Bearded Toyman, can't wait to hear what you think. Thank you, much appreciated. Simp Slayer, where did you buy the figure? Bought it from Lion Rock Toys. I've absolutely no problem saying that. They've yet to let me down. But again, buy from whoever you like. Just because I've had good experiences doesn't mean you will. But I have to say, I've never had a bad experience with them. And I will long way at last. We have a $5 super chat from Bearded Toyman. Thank you very much. You don't have to do that. Greatly appreciate it. That's going to go into the fund. What will we call it? The London fund, the pint fund. So I'm going to buy a pint with the Empire Strikes Again with that. Thank you very much. Or I might actually use it to fund those. I'm looking at CCFL Sabres by Art15 Custom. I want to get one, do review. And then I'll consider getting a few more. I'll see. Like I really like what I see. It's a bit. How do you say? I'll get the first one. I'll see what it's like. They're a bit pricey. Okay. Right. Tragedy Tales. I usually pay no attention when people say these things, but okay. All right, so brand. Let me see. See if this is the right one. too loud. Okay, grand. I've changed it. I can't keep everyone happy. Some of them will be like, oh, I like that. And other people will be like, I hate that. So, right. So, Trevor has it already. It's great. The custom was over $1,000. Wow. And for this one, you get $2,000. That Batman pose. Thank you, Ryan. Eagle-eyed viewer. I'm actually loving the display behind me now. Because, I mean, come on. 80s nostalgia. Just possibly the best film ever made. Another one of the... Oh, God, I'm terrible at this. Like the T800 is just awesome. And I like the way I have cable next to the T800. Trevor is a legend. He absolutely is a legend. Ash Chase, what do you think of the Kang figure? I think it looks banging, but I wasn't gone on the movie, so I won't be picking it up, but I think it looks really, really good. Ken Carpenter, congrats Shane, still waiting on my 2-pack rooted from 1/6 kit. Kit, I've heard nothing but good things from. I've never actually ordered them myself. They will deliver, and in fairness, they're honouring that shipping cost thing because the box, it was huge. Other companies did not. Lion Rock is awesome. Fact. Waiting for delivery right now. Come on, UPS. What did you buy? Imagine Shane petting the INART Joker like a blind girl. I think that was a blind boy or a blind day these days from Dumb and Dumber because he couldn't get the head sculpt on, so he went crazy. Yeah, man. That is one of the drawbacks. We'll get to that. Deadpool Red Suit says, with TW, patience is the key. My vision arrived today at long last. To be fair, it was less than half the price of Sideshow. Yeah, look, I can't argue with that. I'm done with them now, but at the same time, like, it's all to do... The only one who's going to go to your work and earn money for you is you, so therefore you're the only person who should decide who you buy from. But I definitely would get people to do your own research and don't allow yourself to be influenced by anyone, including myself. Make up your own decisions. Yeah, I'm glad that came for you, and I'm glad you got a deal. I'm a fan of a deal. Tragedy Tales, I did my best. You probably don't like this song either, but yeah, I did. Yo, Shane, congrats on the Joker. Hope it leaves you speechless. You just want me to shut up, Chuck. Oh my God, you're killing me. I love the joke, by the way. Super Jelly. I also stole your DX19 pose. Oh, cool. Thanks, man. It was fairly simple, really, when I find once you get the cape here and just kind of drape it down together. I don't think this is the right cape for bringing it around the front, but I think the cape's actually quite nice, the stock cape. If you just futz with it a bit, keep it like in between on the collarbone without draping over the shoulder blade, and just pull it to one side and put his hand up. Pretty straightforward, but yeah, it looks good. I highly recommend 1/6 kit. I've heard nothing but good things about them. Got a Toys Battalion Sorcerer Supreme, which is Wong from Lion Rock. They shipped it 2 days ago. Out for delivery today. Paid a very reasonable extra for you. Oh, cool. Good stuff. Good stuff. Shiny having a laugh. And okay, finally, we're up to date with the chat, and now we can start our stream. I just want to make sure that if everyone took the effort to buy the one, but waiting for me to go live and then actually turning up and stuff like that, so and writing the comments, I think I got through everyone. So I couldn't get him to hold the light gun. Didn't think about holding it like that. It's just so straightforward. Yeah, just give it a try. Okay, so what are you going to be here for? I don't want to hold you hostage. So obviously, quick plug at some of the new videos live on the channel, some of the new streams live on the channel. And we're going to talk about INART Joker in-hand impression. This is not my official unboxing and review video. This is just, I obviously have unboxed it, so it's not my official review. I will be doing an official review. It is just after having it for 24 hours and just setting up both versions, the jail cell and the regular version, which is actually like this one's just so bloody good. Actually, the jail cell, it's hard to tell which one is better, to be honest, but I think this one is kind of iconic street scene. After basically unboxing the figure and taking a look with it, these are my initial thoughts, okay? And I'm going to try and be as fair and as honest as possible. Okay, so my thoughts on the Luke Skywalker from Mandalorian. That video is up now live. I'm actually loving how that head sculpt turns out, but that's there if you want to watch another video about that. Quarter scale Batman. It's blatantly biased. You know how I feel about this. If you're a subscriber to the channel, you've been following my channel, you know how I feel about this trilogy and Bale as Batman in this suit. So this one's coming home. Just a question of when. Well, it's on order. Whenever Sideshow get it. My last order with Sideshow. And this is basically a live stream dedicated to hyping up that and just that. Right. Before I show you some of the photos that I actually have taken of this thing, again, these are not like, you know, Lightbox style high production photos. They're just photos taken with my phone, just to give you, to bring your attention to certain things, which I think I would have definitely liked to know before I got the figure and stuff like that. Right. Obviously, if you've been following the channel, you know that I once had this on order with the Devil's Workshop. And if you look here, the price that I eventually got, I eventually canceled that order, which I'm not going to go into. Just watch the stream if you want to watch the stream. That's not what we're here for. But basically, I had it on order and had it fully paid off for $723 because I had a 20% discount code from the workshop that they gave me because they basically screwed up something before. And I was thinking, oh, that's not bad customer service to actually give me 20% off. So I waited until I found something nice that I really wanted that was expensive and used the 20% discount, and it worked, and I had it fully paid off for about a year. Bones of a year. Eventually got the quote then for shipping, which I was like, no, that's not the $95 that you quoted everyone. And I was like, no, I'm not having that. So cancelled and got my money back. You can do that. They pick and choose who they give their money back to. A lot of people, you cancel and store credit. Push them hard enough, threaten with the credit card company, they'll back down. Okay. So I got the full refund, and obviously I've been working with the Lion Rock toys for the last, I don't know, maybe 6 to 8 months. I typically find a figure I want. I do my research. I find the cheapest price. I go to them. We have a discussion, and basically, usually they undercut the cheapest price. If they beat the price, I'll go with them. I'm happy to do so because they're just good. Like, I've never had an issue with them. I've got great customer service with them, and yeah, just happy enough to give them a plug because they've never let me down. So I went with them after cancelling my order with the workshop and went to them. Obviously, I had a 20% discount with the workshop, so $723. I knew I wasn't going to get it for $723. So Lion Rock's price was $1,067.57. And again, that's slightly lower than if the layman was ordering it because I'm doing a review for them. So it's like, it's good for me because I get a cheaper figure, and it's good for them because they get a bit of a plug. It's a win-win. It's a symbiotic relationship. So I accepted that I wasn't going to get the same cheap price because, you know, with the workshop at a 20% discount. But then, if you factor in the next bit here, that the workshop were quoting me $330 for shipping. Now the box is huge. Fine, the box is huge. But the original shipping price was something like $95. Like, I mean, that's a pretty big jump up, which, look, it is what it is. I wasn't happy with that. The shipping for Lion Rock was actually included. So now it's kind of becoming a bit more neck and neck. Now, typically, living in Ireland, when I order with the workshop, I have to pay 30% on the cost of the item plus the shipping. So if I'd done that, I would have had to pay $315.09. Okay, so I would have had to gone ahead and paid that with if I went with the Devil's Workshop. But with customs yesterday from Lion Rock, like I usually don't have to pay customs for Lion Rock because the box was so big, they had to write a value on it, otherwise it'd be sent back to Hong Kong, and I didn't want that. I paid $53. This is all in euro and Hong Kong dollars, so just easier to convert it all to American dollars. So I ended up paying $53.62, whereas if I got it from the workshop, I would have to pay $315.90. So in total, if I gone with the workshop, bearing in mind with the 20% discount, $723 plus $330 shipping plus $315.90, it would have cost me $1,368.90. But with Lion Rock, I got it for $1,121.19, a total saving of $247.71. So was it worth all the hassle? You're damn fucking right it was. Okay, rant over. Let's take a look at this. This is the box in my car. Unboxing this thing was like those Russian dolls. because this is like the outer box, a regular generic cardboard box. You tear this open, and then you've got the actual INART shipper. You open that, and then you've got the tombstone, the actual box, which is kind of in the same shape as the INART logo. And with all, you know, the real fancy writing and, you know, the INART Joker and all the whodunits and stuff like that. And it's wrapped in cling film as well. It's very well boxed, I gotta say. It's like INART have done a very good job. And I presume it was Line Rock who double boxed the shipper box, which I love that. And this thing had more stamps on it than a small post office, all right? So that's basically the size of the box. Bit more perspective. If you've been following my channel or following my Instagram, you've seen my collection set up with the 5 details. This is the box on a chair in front of the 5 details. The thing is pretty damn huge. I'm going to address some of these chats, otherwise I won't be able to keep up. Bearded Toyman, still waiting on mine from the Devil's Workshop, and I pay, oh man. Look man, it is absolutely amazing. You know, hopefully it gets you one piece and everything, and it'll be worth the wait. I think when you get it, you will still be hyped about it. Yeah, look, we gotta do. Me too, got an email saying it was shipped by the end of this month. Good stuff, Martin. Just read about a guy that had the same email as me and got a cancellation. I think I read that story, alright. I think it was a 1300 store credit or something like that. Yeah, that's not cool. I've heard sorts of horror stories. Can only hope we get the figures. Lloyd Christmas. Yeah, Lloyd Christmas. Jim Carrey, what a legend. $240 savings. It is another figure, absolutely. Boba Fettuccine, they give you a discount on one end, took it back into shipping. Yeah. Yes, more or less. This is my first order with them. Emailed them today, asking them to confirm it by the end of the month, which did. But that's good. Like, I hope you get it by the end of the month. Yeah, like I had 2 fully paid off. Like, as soon as I got the refund on this, I was like, right, that's it. I'm not going to order anything more from them. And I still have 2 figures that I've paid off for over, like, basically a year that I'll be waiting on, like the Ahsoka, which God knows when that will come in, and the Batman with the signaling and stuff like that. So, like, yeah, just when they arrive, then it's done out. I just won't go back, like, and I won't go back and forth on that. It's just not going to happen. Like, no. Mine's made up. Just going to wait until they get there. So, who the hell would pay $300 for crazy shipping? Well, people have paid it, they've kind of got, like, they had them between a rock and a hard place, really. Like, if you really want this figure and you've paid off, and you know everywhere else is sold off, then it's like, what do? Do you cancel? And you know they're going to offer you store credit, or you're at least in for an argument to try and get your money back. And then if you cancel and even get your money back, can you still get it from someone else? Look at all those stamps. Yeah, it's crazy. First time I've seen the back seat of a Ferrari. Yeah, definitely not a Ferrari. It's a nice car though. It's an old car, but it's a nice car. Statue size box, absolutely. Dan in Carbonite. Evening. Dan, how are you? I must get back to you about your message about the turntable. I couldn't remember the actual name of the turntable. I've got to look in my my Amazon order history, and I'll link you the exact model. Damn, that's huge. You should have seen the PCS. Alright, so there's probably, like, you're a statue collector, so yeah, this is probably like small for you guys. What's up, the Beanie King? Judy from Texas, how are you? I think the INART's batch release system is something we all have to get used to. Yeah, I get you. Look at this username. That is hilarious. They are the great deals, but they have great deals, but not worth the hassle and the headache when you have to deal with them. Yeah, that is true. Okay, so we'll flick through some other things. I want to see if, like, the videos I have actually work. Right, so obviously, look, so again, just to recap, that's it in the car. That's like the double box. I'm pretty sure this is just Lion Rock doing this to make sure it protects the shipper box, which I really, really like that. This is the INART shipper box, and like the corners of these, the corners actually have those like hard plastic protectors to protect the shipper. Now, I'm going to throw this out because, yeah, it's gone. I'm not selling this. It's gone. I throw all my shippers anyway. Keep the boxes, keep the art boxes, keep all the plastic, keep all the accessories, keep everything apart from the shippers. The shipper's one job to get it to you. So there's like 2 shippers on this. There was this, and then there was this. But yeah, and had the kind of bomb-proof plastic corners, and the INART tape was over that, so I assume that's INART's doing. I was very impressed by the packaging, in fairness. This thing is usually, this table, it's not a small table, it's a corner table, it's pretty damn big, like. And this thing literally looked like a tombstone on the table. So this is like just, basically when I'm sitting here, this is what I can see. So my laptop now, if you imagine where I'm streaming now, instead of the tombstone being here, my laptop is here, and behind I can see these floating shelves now. So I'm like looking at this display now. So it's like an end game, and then we got the No Way Home. Notice no stands apart from the Iron Man, because I wanted to have him levitating. And the no stands thing will come into this particular stream later on, because I know there was issues with the Joker standing and stuff like that. All right. Okay, so this is it, like on the ground. So basically, after this is wrapped in cling film, you take off this and you have the box, and then this side lifts over, and I just took all of the kind of aero board, the styrofoam out, and this layer here is on this. So there's like 3 layers. This is the bottom layer. So this has your jail cell diorama. The thing is heavy. As in, it's heavy, and it looks proper weathered and rusted. It's like this is not some cheap crap. It is heavy. It's die cast. The rust and paint applications are amazing. It slots keys really nicely into the wood. Now I don't know. I know that there's stories. I know that like Joao, Big Brother's review, shout out for his amazing review, and Dan from 6 Scale Reviews, again shout out to his amazing review. They were saying that the thing leans. Now I think maybe that's after a few days or something, I'm not sure, but I'm putting mine in, and it looks more or less 90, but I'm guessing after a few days it's going to start to lean a bit, so I'm going to keep an eye on it, and I presume I'll be able to fix that somehow, like. But again, I don't have that issue as of yet, but I've just keyed this in today. And then on top of that, then you have, like, obviously you can see like the figures here on the right. This is like, sorry, when I say on top, you can't see my cursor here, but on on this picture, the top section on the right, you've got the 2 figures, and then in the middle, then you've got like these 2 tubes, and then you've got all the arms and accessories and stuff like that. So it's yeah, it's pretty damn intense. Like, so I want to see if I can get some of these videos to work, because I have some videos here which I'd like to show you of kind of this kind of stuff. So hopefully these will actually play correctly. So I'll just try to just get them playing. Okay, so this video should play now. I don't think there's any sound on it, but it's only a short video. Can you let me know if you can hear me talking while this video is playing? Because I purposely took the sound off these videos so I could narrate them as I go along. So could you just give me a thumbs up and just say, yeah, we can hear you talk while the video is playing. Or maybe you can't actually hear me. Brilliant. Okay, Pablo, thanks for that confirmation. So you can actually hear me while the vid. Brilliant, because I took all the sound off this because I wanted to narrate. Thanks, Shiny, I appreciate it. So I can see, like, this is obviously the shipper box, that the standard INART shipper box, and the tape says INART on it, so that suggests that the plastic pieces was taped on by them and not Line Rock, and then the outer box was Line Rock. Okay, so that's just one of the videos I want to show you, and I want to show you another one as well. Okay, so this one here, this next one, so when you open up the shipper, because the actual tombstone box is not a perfect rectangle, they have to stop that flopping around inside there. So like they had to use, you know, some sort of foam or something like that. So the actual shipper box you can see here, the official INART Joker, you know, rooted 2-back shipper box, whatever you want to call it, the outer cardboard box is a standard regular rectangle. But then inside that they have a top layer of styrofoam and a bottom layer of styrofoam which holds the box. And then inside in the box then you obviously have it wrapped in cellophane. So they have put a massive amount of effort into the shipping, the not only presentation of the shipper or the box and the styrofoam, but the actual they want to get it to you in one piece. Now there is one little thing I did notice which they'll need to improve on. I'm going to get that to you when the video outlines it. Okay, so a few more videos here now. Okay, so this next one. So this is the film. I always struggle with that. So the cling film, whatever you want to call it, plastic is out of the box, and it opens up like that, and then you've got your two straps. So it's kind of like a statue. Okay. I basically gave up at that point because I was trying to film with one hand and then try to open up all the stuff with the next. So I just took the styrofoam out then, and I should have a next video on it now lined up. Yeah, I think I have it here. So like then you can see I took right out of the tombstone. You have just the aero board, and the straps come off. Like they put a lot of effort into the packaging, but there's one little thing they need to do better. It's actually quite important too. Okay. Right. First drawback or thing I noticed, and it is kind of a big one. So you see the two tubes that house the head sculpt. Great idea. Bloody great idea. And if you notice that everything here comes in this plastic, and it's like a smooth, cloudy plastic. Like it actually feels nice to touch. It feels very premium, and have all the silica gel as well to make sure there's no moisture. They've really gone the extra mile. The tubes that house the head sculpts, they're a great idea because it protects especially if you're getting the rooted hair, it protects that rooted hair. So they've styled it like the hair is really impressive. Like it's very impressive rooted hair. But the actual head sculpts, when I got them, they have these little pegs on the bottom. So you have, imagine like you can see them there. It's a cylinder, and it has like a black plastic circle on top and a black plastic circle on the bottom, like discs. And then you have the transparent cylinder, and inside the head sculpt is pegged onto like a little peg basically. So it's like kind of a stand-in for the neck peg that you're eventually going to peg on the head sculpt too. But when I opened mine, and I took the plastic off both of the tubes, the two head sculpts were not on the tubes, so they'd been rattling around in there in transit. And obviously that's not Lion Rock Toys' fault, because they got the shipper and they didn't, it was a sealed shipper. They'd have no way of knowing that. So really you have to put it down to the handlers of who transported it, but realistically it is INART's issue, because like think about this, we've all been to the airport and we've seen how baggage handlers handle your luggage. They don't care. It's the same way some people in DHL or UPS or the post office, they don't care. Fragile sticker, they'll throw it harder. Like I presume it depends on the person. Some people would take that seriously and take all the care, but so those head sculpts were rattling around in there, for basically, I don't know, until they got knocked off. So they really need to make sure that they're wedged in, So now thankfully, like there was one little tiny thing I noticed. Now I'm not even sure if it's supposed to be like that, but there's one or two hairs out of place. I'll get over that, but there wasn't any like real noticeable damage. But there was one little tiny nick that I noticed on the nose of the jail cell version. That's tiny. Now it could actually be the way it's supposed to be, or it could just be that when they're rattling around, the nose hit off the inside. And I think it might actually be this tiny little dot of white paint there. Now I might sound like I'm nitpicking, but the things do cost $1,000, So like I said, it's not Lion Rock Toys' fault, because they would have got the shipper, it's sealed, they're not going to open it, they're just going to ship it. They double box that. it's obviously comes down to how they're actually handled on transport, and INART maybe not anticipating that, okay, even if there's a massive fragile handle with care sticker on this, the people who are working for these delivery companies aren't always going to be handling with care. So they need to make sure the tubes are a great idea for protecting that root hair, but they need to make sure that they are locked in position. So if they get rattled around, they don't fall around. So like, that was a bit of a, you know, when I opened them up, I was like, oh God, this could be a disaster. It's like, is the rolling eyes function going to be broken or whatever? But thankfully, it was fine. Bit of futzing with the hair. But like, and it was that tiny little bit in the nose. And like, I don't even know if it's supposed to be like that or not. I think it's a tiny little bit of paint that has been knocked off from rattling around. But again, look, I'll contact INART or Lion Rock or whatever like that. But again, it's kind of an issue with INART, really, to be honest. Like, you know, that's something they should have really anticipated. So I'd be curious to see when other people get it, when they unbox them, are the heads going to be still on those little pegs? But that was one thing I noticed anyway. Okay, one thing they need to improve on. Right, what else do I have here to show you? I do have photos, but I'm saving them to last. Yeah, I'll just let this play away here, so because you can see the magnetic base is actually beautiful. I love it. I really love it. And I'm going to get to like a few little posing tips on that I've noticed. So you have the bench here. You got the two tubes. These are just some of the hands, the two figures, some of the gloves hands. Behind that silica packet are all the grenades, and they're fully like there's an individual little space in the styrofoam for them. You've got the machine gun. That's like 2 bags of cash. That was the Joker cards, the Glock. The knife is actually there in between the machine gun and the Glock. The handcuffs are there, I just didn't point them out. They're actually on the figure now. Handcuffs are a really cool accessory. Yeah, so that's where we are at the moment. I'm going to address the chat before I move on. I'm going to go back to this. Where is the thing that I want to share? Yeah, so there are the videos, really. Oh, no, sorry. There's one other video. Sorry. I'm going to show an actual video of the figure setup. I took this yesterday. If you've watched it, if you've seen my Instagram yesterday, it was on this. This is exactly how I wanted to pose it. And if anything, like, the video doesn't even do it justice, but it's just so simple. That iconic scene when Batman is like, you know, hurtling towards him on the Batpod, and he's saying, you know, hit me, I want you to do it, I want you to do it, hit me. So the head sculpt is great. The paint application is great. I love the rolling eyes function on that. It just adds a different dynamic to it. It looks like a person on a stage. It literally is, as the guys from Collecting Weekly would say, shrink ray. Aesthetically, I have no issues with this figure. Not that I can remember. Maybe I will over the next few days when I'm looking at it. Love the rooted hair. Like, it comes out of the jars like that. Now mine was flopping around a bit, so I had to do a little bit of futzing, but I thought it was going to be all over the place. It really does sit nicely. Tailoring's beautiful, weathering's beautiful. Now I'm going to pause this right here. The number one thing that I find frustrating with this figure, aesthetically, looks beautiful. I said from day one, if we get what they had in the prototype, I'll be happy. The prototype images were great. The prototype video were great. The Vegas event footage looked amazing. The Justin prototype review looked amazing. And by all accounts, any review I've seen, Big Breda, Justin, 6 Scale reviews, and fantastic. Right, aesthetically, love it. Very satisfied. I think they have delivered. But in terms of functionality, the transport issue with the tubes I just mentioned is one thing. Getting this head on the neck piece. Like, if you think Iron Man batteries are bad, I'm sorry, but installing Iron Man batteries pales compared to the frustration of putting this head on. I know people have mentioned it before, but like, just awful. Like, if you have it, I find pushing the shoulders back worked. So you push them back, kind of opens up the shirt a bit. I've tried to loosen the shirt a bit, but I didn't want to loosen too much. I didn't want to tear it. I didn't want to mess with the tie. And then try to get the head sculpt in. It was like, you was pushing it in, and then like, you can imagine, like, if that's the shirt and the head sculpt was going in, it was like pushing down. You know what? If this is the neck and this is the shirt collar, you're trying to push the neck down into the shirt collar. What was happening is part of the shirt would be trapped underneath the neck. You needed tweezers. And then with the tweezers, like I was worried that because the tweezers kind of all a bit sharp and I didn't want to tear the shirt or anything like that. A lot of patience, followed by a lot of patience. That was like, that has to improve. I think maybe if they had a method where the shirt was a lot more open and then you peg it on and then there was a little magnet then to close the shirt and the tie, that would be a lot better. Easily done. Now, not a deal breaker because you only have to do it once. I'm never taking that bloody thing off. And well, actually, sorry, you have to do it twice. But my God, when it's on, it just looks like a person. It's bloody awesome. So that's my first kind of, it's again, my drawbacks or nitpicks are more functionality than aesthetic. I don't think I have any aesthetic drawbacks. It looks like it's just warms my heart. All right, so like that just looks like he stepped out of the movie. Shout out to Dan in the building. Dan hit the nail on the head. The Joker's the shoes, the heel has to be flat down. The toes of the shoes, they're kind of like brogue style shoes, they curl up a bit. So basically ignore the tips of the shoes on this guy. It's all about the heels and the balls of the feet. I've taken some close-up images here and I do have one or two posing tips because I don't use bases. Okay, typically I don't use bases. I'm using this one because it's awesome and those magnets are bloody tight. They're good. My advice to anyone who's getting this figure and wants to use this base, pose the figure without the base first. Make sure that the heels on the left and the right foot are flat down and that the balls of the feet are in contact with your, the table or some sort of flat surface that you're posing him on. Ignore the tips of the toes of the shoes. They're going to curl up. It's all about the heels and the balls of the feet. Pose this guy so he can stand without the stand first, then drop him down onto the stand. It's not going anywhere. Stand's great. Like I just want to address some of these chats here. 1 second. I'm just going to get this screen ready. Come on. This is not streaming. It's not sharing for me. Sorry. I'll try this again. That's interesting. Why is that not working? Okay, remove. So I'll be with you in 1 second now. So this. All right, here we go. I'm going to get this queued up. All right, so just going to address these chats here. I'm way far behind. Bearded Toyman, thank you very much for the $10 super chat. I've got a bail, everyone. Cheers, another great show. Shane, I'm glad I could tune in live for a bit. Thanks very much, man. I really appreciate that. You don't have to do that, but it is massively appreciated. That is going to be pumped into some CCFLs. I'm going to try and get some CCFLs and sort the display out for Luke, hopefully when he arrives. When I order him. Styrofoam. Yes, absolutely. I can feel the excitement as you see this for the first time. Yeah, definitely. You can't just take 3 whole points from INART just because the silica gel didn't taste good. It's not the nicest silica gel I've ever had. Costa is here. How you doing? The Joker when Shane opens the Futurama jar and notice the head rolling around. Want to know how I got these scars? That's good. That's good. That is actually, that's on point. This is why Shiny's here. That's not good. Mine were secure. Usually custom haired pieces have an insert that is screwed onto the base. Yeah, they need to basically make sure that they are not budging in the tubes. Thankfully mine was okay. Little nick there that I noticed. Yeah, look, it's, again, basically I contacted Line Rock and they're going to contact INART. So to be honest, it's not something I'm too pushed about, because I can't tell if it's supposed to be like that or not. But maybe I wouldn't have even noticed it if they hadn't been out of the tubes. Just looks like a human to me. Alan says loves the magnetic base. Heath Ledger is the fourth best Joker. Yeah, I said you're just talking shite, Costa. The fourth best. I'm only joking. I love you, man, but no, don't be coming in here with that crap. Fourth best Joker figure too. Oh, Jesus, the two, you know, just bloody spreading like wildfire. The big bonus of the head sculpt or the sculpted sets. The big bonus of the sculpted set is the heads come pre-attached. That is good. Dan knows exactly what I'm talking about. The head sculpt, definitely hard to attach. Just annoying. Personally, I found the head sculpt a bit too easy to attach. Oh, just this guy. God, where is the block button? They need instructions. This is how much futzing customs need. Sorry, him being Aussie is my favorite Joker. Yeah, he is my favorite Joker as well. Followed by Nicholson. Chewing on the end of the neck so it fits in is not a solution. They should include coated tweezers. That would be a good idea. You have to loosen the tie. Yeah. I believe INART did a video on how to put the heads on to make it easy. Yeah, they did. I saw it, but I just I still found it difficult, to be honest. Little plastic tweezer you get with Iron Man figure. Yeah, that's actually a great idea. Yeah, I should have thought of that. I actually have them now because I've all my accessories stored in the tackle box here. Like, how does it stand with the base? I've definitely addressed that already. It just stands beautiful with the base. I'm going to show you pictures of that right now as soon as we get to the end of these. Congrats on finally getting it. Thank you, Mike. My question is, where are all the people who were shitting on this figure and or cancelling their orders now? Yeah, man. Like, okay, be nice, Shane. You see Dan. You see what he's doing. He's trying to get you to say some messed up stuff. That's what Dan's trying to do. Yeah, Dan, I completely agree with you. I'm just going to say that. Is there no one else? Mario's here. What's going on? What's going on, Mario? How are you? Good to see you. I haven't seen you in ages. We need to stream together. And Boba Fettuccini says a new Hot Toys Dark Trooper for 180 today is good. Excellent stuff, man. Excellent stuff. All right. So the final part, then I want to show you some of these photos that I took. They're not particularly great photos. I like that photo there. I actually really like this photo, but I took this photo like literally 5 minutes before the live stream. Just pushed the diorama up against the wall and it was an iPhone on portrait mode. But like it just it just looks so good. The rolling eyes function, just being able to move those eyes right up and put his head right down, and he makes eye contact. Because if you tilted his head down like that, and you didn't move the eyes up, he just kind of be looking down at his shoes or something like that. But just being able to tilt the head forward but move the eyes up, it just adds a different level to the figure. I just love the rolling eyes in this. It looks so well. And even like the tailoring there and the die-cast handcuffs, the kind of the dirt and the makeup and everything on his hands. And even I honestly think that the rooted hair on this photo, yeah, it looks good and all that, but it doesn't do it justice what I'm looking at here. It's just, yeah, I wonder, can I actually show you this? Like, I was going to move the light here. This is probably not going to do it justice here, but no, this is like even like right down to the socks. You can see those kind of strange shoes that curl up at the toe. just pretty impressive, I gotta say. All right, can't focus. Get that light out of my face. It's too bright. Okay, so yeah, so this is I literally just set this up before. Very little futzing required. I find the ankles really stiff on it. I suppose they have to maybe something to do with the magnets. Like the joints seem stiff and ratcheted. The hands just look so lifelike. The figure in general looks lifelike. Aesthetically, I can't really fault it aesthetically. I thought some figures, the Joker, the jail cell one without the purple jacket might look a little too skinny, but it must be maybe the way it was posed, because I'm looking at here now, the proportions, they do look super. So I'm just really happy with it. Just a close up, you can see like the kind of, some kind of like the redness in the fingertips and his knuckles there, and there's even like wrinkles and details in the knuckles. And of course the seamless wrists are always going to make something look a bit more lifelike. The die-cast handcuffs look great. The weathering on the pants, they kind of look a bit dusty and a bit grimy, like, you know, they're not just normal, they're not just, you know, they don't look brand new or anything like that. Just kind of slightly from the side. The shoulders do look a little narrow here, but from this angle where I'm looking, it's just, the proportions look very good. So that's in the DTOF there. I really like this magnetic base. Now I do have this posed on the magnetic base, and in the cube with the DTOF next to it I have the DX19, and obviously the DX19 looks smaller than it then, but like it's just because he's, you know, the Joker's on a base, but like it'd be the same if they were standing next to each other and the Joker was on a step, you know. So I think the scaling is pretty good. It's just amazing, like, you know, it's like even before I go to work I go in here and turn on the lights and have a look, and then yeah, it's just pretty damn cool. We're nearly at the end of the stream now. Oh, Trevor, look at you coming in here trying to stir that pot. Yeah, you are absolutely stirring the pot, Dan. That's what you're doing. No, like, look, this is their first offering, but for a company's first offering, it's pretty damn impressive. Is it perfect? No, but my complaints are the transportation issue and yeah, like the wrist pegs, you really do have to wedge them in there. Like that, the die-cast weapon there, like it's when they're in, but I feel it took me a while of futzing around to try and get the wrist peg in there. Like I typically would take the hand I want, put the weapon that I want in the hand, and then push it on. It took me like a few minutes to get it in, but once it was there, it was fine. But I do find those wrist pegs, they're a little finicky, right? You definitely have to, you don't want to be in a rush, basically. But then again, maybe that was just that was just me. Maybe I was just doing it wrong. I thought of you because Toys One and was trying to scam me. Please don't associate me with that. But I had ordered the INART Premium Joker, fully paid. They emailed me regarding shipping. I paid it. I paid it half. I paid it 1 out of 2. Oh, this is 1 out of 2. Sorry, message 1 out of 2. Sorry. Just today they cancelled my order claiming I didn't pay my balance. Now they want to get no. Claim that back. No. They don't get to decide that. You paid for something, you're not getting it. There's no store credit. You're dead right. Open that claim. That's chances. The forearms, yeah, the forearms are actually, they just look amazing. This is how I'm feeling about 66 Joker. I'm so glad. I'm so good. It's so good and brings back so many memories. That 66 Joker is just, Mars Toys are killing it. That's a good point, DW. In certain photos, it definitely does. But like the way I'm sitting here, and like the shoulders actually look pretty broad. I think it depends on angles, but you're right. I did notice that, and that was a kind of a concern. I thought maybe they had to make the body a bit skinnier so that the purple coat looked a bit better. But I gotta say, like, I'm looking at here and it's just, Yeah, it doesn't look underside. I actually really like it. Some photos though, you're dead right. I had noticed that. A dark cloud is now hovering overhead. Let it hover. He was just lucky they started arresting people for eating explosive. I can't keep up with your shiny. I'm thinking I've lost all this stuff. KG, a rare unicorn sighting. How are you, man? Great to hear from you. We need to do a stream. Haven't seen you in a long time, man. Folks, they probably missed it, but is it different? Is it different to get the accessories into the hands? I saw your short, but what a disaster it was to get the head sculpt in. Yeah, the head sculpt is a nightmare. But look, you only have to do it twice. The accessories into the hands are fine. It's getting the wrist pegs on. I found that a little sketchy. I haven't tried the grenades yet. I'm seeing is it different? No, it's not. It's not different. It's kind of the same as the getting the gun or weapons into the hand. It's kind of the same as a hot toy, but getting the wrist peg on is it's a bit. You think they're on, but they're not. You really got to push them in there. So that's another shout out to Dan for doing the kind of the hard work for us. I started going through the hit me scene in my head, looking at that pose. Yeah, good stuff. Just don't come into my collection room and hit it. Did you pose it with the grenades? I haven't done that yet. No, see, I came home from work and I was like, you know, you'd be wrecked after work, but I still had to open this. But I was like, okay, I'll pose it standing up and I'll just get the gun into the hand. All my energy went into getting the head sculpt on. I couldn't go messing with those grenades. No chance. It will be done though. And I'm just seeing here that Trevor reckons the grenades are easy. Good stuff. Good to know. So basically, putting on the head sculpt is the hardest. Would you say that, Trevor? Can't wait, but went with sculpted hair action. Yeah, man, brilliant call. And David, good that you're in the building. Good to see you. Right, so the next photo, where is it? All right. So I just wanted to show this from the side because this just reminds me of like I know principal photography or you know, some like movie stills. That kind of lean he's got. It's like he's not necessarily, he's no smooth criminal, like, but there's a slight bit of a lean, or as Dan puts it, a hunch. I might have even exaggerated like the chin so far down, but I just really like that look, like, because it makes him look like he's just a bit sinister, like, you know. And I think that's kind of screen accurate as well. He definitely was during the hit me scene. He definitely put his head down. He was standing more or less up straight. You can even see the curl of the toes there pointing upwards. But I just wanted to show this at this angle, just from that's the kind of pose I've got going on. So yeah, and again, like, it just looks so much better, like in person, to be honest. But okay, so this is if you take one thing away from this video, if you intend on posing this, whether with the stand or without the stand, let's say you're going with the stand, pose it on a flat surface first without the stand. Make sure both heels are flat and make sure the balls of the feet are flat. Basically, the middle of the sole of the shoe. The toes, they're going to be off the ground. Just accept that. And just make sure, like, you know, that maybe widen the stance as much as you can. Not like, well, widen the stance a bit, okay? So his legs, basically, they shouldn't be parallel, okay? So they should be kind of like that, okay? You can angle the shoes left and right as well, so that will help you get the heels flat and obviously the middle part of the shoe flat. But those toes, they're going to point up. So you want the weight of the figure, basically the center of gravity, over the heels and the balls of the feet. But pose it without the stand first to get it right, then click it onto the stand and then just do your tweaking. And yeah, it's that should work. And again, like, look at that. It looks a bit, I actually love the look of the shoes. You can see like the heels here. Like, if you look at the right heel there, you can clearly see that all like that's probably 2 corners. I imagine this is a square. I know it's not a perfect square, but it's flat. The heels are flat on the magnetic base. And this one is the same, you just can't see it. But you can see from the midpoint of the shoe, there's 2 real points of contact, really. The heel and the mid part, or the balls of the feet, the sole, and then they point upwards. That's just the nature of those shoes. Do you know, imagine if you're wearing those shoes yourself. I don't know where you're going with those shoes, but whatever you're into, they're gonna curl up at the front. Yeah, so there'd be my tips. Make sure that the heels are flat, that the center points of the undersoles are flat, that you have the center of gravity right. Forget about the base until you're right with that and you have it. And again, drop down to eye level when you're posing it. Make sure those heels are right. That's what I do. And I rarely use stands. Like there's like, I can count the figures that I use stands for on a hand, and usually that's because I want them levitating or something like that. And again, you're talking to someone who, if you go back, I'm going to flick back through this. That's the last slide. I'm going to flick back to show you what I mean. When it comes to posing figures without a stand, I know what I'm doing. So nothing here has a stand. And they are like, that Thanos is like 2 meters up into the air. Like, you know, okay, it's about 1.5 meters from the desk here. But if he takes a tumble, he takes a tumble. So he's standing on the rock base there. So that's Thanos in the middle. To the left of Thanos here, you've got the Iron Patriot. That's a beefy boy. Like he's hefty. But the feet are flat and he's got Rocket on his shoulder. No stands. Yeah, the Iron Man Battle Damage 85 is a stand because I wanted to make him like fly or levitated. Endgame Cap, just standing there. And if you look on the right here, this is the movie promo battling version Spider-Man from No Way Home. There's no stand there. There's no blue tack. There's no like museum gel. There's nothing. He's like basically posed right with 2 points of contact on that base, and he's holding the Mac and the Dick and Avis and everything. So it's, if I can do that, people can pose their Joker right. If it's falling over on you, it is user error. Again, do whatever you feel comfortable with, but I would definitely, if you're going pose it on the base, make sure your pose is dialed in first and then clip it onto the base and do your tweaking. That's all I'm saying. Okay. Gonna address some of these chats. Grenades are easy. I know the context, but people who just joined us might not. Head sculpt, definitely the hardest part. Pass die-cast grenades will tug on the jacket. Have a shot of whiskey or two, then apply the grenade. Pete Cass, evening buddy, 2 weeks in celebration. Man, I cannot wait, man. Really looking forward to seeing yourself and Ian and Ben and Leah and everyone. It's gonna be fun. Calvin and Phil, the Ben Thomas show. Ben, how are you? Man, you're in for a treat. You know, it's like, do you know that you know in The Dark Knight Rises where the Batpod just like flies by the police car, and there's an old policeman, there's a young policeman. The old fella says, "Oh boy, you're in for a show tonight." So yeah, you're gonna love this. Bub Fettuccini, there's some good looking shoes. They're the dancing shoes. I think INART's other figures all pretty much have the same flat shoes or boots. We may not see the falling issues again. I don't know how I'm not sure what poses people were using. Maybe they were using a more complicated pose than mine. Mine's fairly straightforward. Why would they do that? Makes no sense to me. I'm not sure what you're talking about there, Ash. Will you let me know there? Shouldn't use magnets. He'll be like a weeble. He'll wobble. You're just trying to make me say all these things. Focus, does the jail cell diorama fit in the details? I haven't tried it. Dan from 6 Scale Reviews has tried it and he says it fits in, but like the tops of the bars will kind of like creep up onto the next level. So if you put it like, say, where the Joker is there, it'll fit, but you put it right to the back and the top parts will peep into the gap between the glass part and the next level. So yes, but I was taking it out and I was like, this thing is so heavy. I was like, Dan, you are a risk taker. I just feel like it would collapse, break the glass, but Dan's done it and it looks good. Yeah, you were in for a show tonight. Folks, that's me. I'm done. Massive thank you to anyone who has taken the time to watch this tonight. Engage in the chat, like the video, subscribe to the channel. been doing this for like a year now and still thoroughly enjoying it. And yeah, massive thank you. So the people out there, just whoever you're buying off, whatever, make sure you're doing your own research and all that. Sorry, I kind of lagged out there for a minute. I think the internet. So yeah, I'm out of here. Yeah, thanks very much, basically. Sound, look.